New York, often called New York City, to distinguish it from New York State, or NYC for short, is the most famous, major city in the United States. New York City has been described as the cultural, financial, and media capital of the world, and is one of the most photographed cities in the country. It is located at the southern tip of the state of New York, on the Atlantic coast, on one of the world's largest natural harbors. The city's total area is 1,213 square kilometers, which includes both land and water. New York City is composed of 5 boroughs or towns. The 5 boroughs, Brooklyn, Queens, Manhattan, Bronx, and Staten Island, were created in 1898. The city has 2 airports, known as LaGuardia Airport and John F. Kennedy International Airport, and both are located in Queens. They are approximate 12 miles or 20 minutes apart from each other. A third major airport is Newark Liberty International Airport, in the neighboring city of Newark. Together, these 3 airports make up the largest airport system in the USA. The city embraces the famous Hudson River, which flows through the Hudson Valley into New York Bay. It separates the city from the U.S. state of New Jersey. Other famous rivers in the city are the East River, which separates the Bronx and Manhattan from Long Island. The Harlem River, between the East and Hudson Rivers, separates most of Manhattan from the Bronx. The New York City, anchored by Wall Street, in the financial district of Lower Manhattan, has been called the most financially powerful city in the world, and is home to the New York Stock Exchange and NASDAQ. The city also homes the United Nations headquarters, and is an important center for international diplomacy. The New York City traces its origins to a trading post, founded on the southern tip of Manhattan Island, by Dutch colonists in 1620s. When the city came under English control in 1664, it was renamed New York, after King Charles II of England granted the lands to his brother, the Duke of York. During the Third Anglo-Dutch War, the city was regained by the Dutch in July to August 1673, and was renamed New Orange. In November 1674, after the Treaty of Westminster, the peace treaty that ended the Third Anglo-Dutch War, the city was returned to England and has been continuously named New York since then. In 1785, New York City became the capital of the United States, and remained so until 1790. In 1811, the city adopted the Commissioner's Plan of 1811, which expanded the Manhattan streets into a famous grid pattern. In 1857, the establishment of Central Park became the first landscaped park in an American city, and on October 27, 1904, the New York City subway opened as a rapid transit system, which helped bind the new city together. New York, being one of the greatest cities in the world, is always a whirlwind of activity, with many famous sights and attractions. Tourists visit the city to enjoy the Broadway shows, to shop and dine, visit the Statue of Liberty, skyscrapers, subway, bridges and parks. Let's explore the most famous attractions in New York City. Statue of Liberty. America's most iconic site, the Statue of Liberty was France's gift to America. It was built in 1886, and is located on Liberty Island. If one has advance reservations, he may go right up to the crown. This trip to Liberty Island also provides an option to stop at Ellis Island as well, to visit the Immigration Museum. Central Park. Located between the Upper West and Upper East sides of Manhattan, the park is half-mile wide and 2.5 miles long, and is one place on every tourist list. The park has many famous attractions within its boundary, as Belvedere Castle, Strawberry Fields, the Central Park Zoo, and the lake. Rockefeller Center, and top of the Rock Observation Deck. Located in Midtown Manhattan, Rockefeller Center is a vast entertainment and shopping complex, and is home to media houses. The major attraction is the 70-story, 30 Rockefeller Plaza, an art decorative skyscraper that offers awesome views over Manhattan from the famous top of the Rock Observation Deck. Metropolitan Museum of Art. It is the most famous museum in the United States, with more than 2 million works of art, and spanning a period of 5,000 years. The museum is also known as the Met. Fifth Avenue is located in the Central Park, and the Met Cloisters is located in Fort Tryon Park, in northern Manhattan. Broadway and the Theater District. Broadway Theater, or Broadway, are the theatrical performances presented in the 41 professional theaters, each with 500 or more seats, located in the Theater District, and the Lincoln Center, along Broadway, in Midtown Manhattan. Theaters, playhouses, musicals, and shows are some of the top things for tourists to do in New York City. Times Square. Times Square is a major commercial intersection with huge, brilliantly lit billboards and screens, and is one of the most famous public intersections in the world. It is located in Midtown Manhattan and is also the hub of the Broadway Theater District. An evening visit to Times Square is a must in the New York tour itinerary. Empire State Building. Opened in 1931, this is a landmark building and key tourist attraction in the city. It is 381 meter tall, with 102 stories, and located in Midtown Manhattan. The Empire State Building is an American cultural icon. It has been featured in more than 250 TV shows and movies since the film King Kong was released in 1933. The building's size has become the global standard of reference to describe the height and length of other structures. The building's Art Decorative architecture, height, and observation decks have made it a popular attraction. 9/11 Memorial and Museum. Where the two towers of the World Trade Center once stood, now stand two square reflecting pools, each 1 acre in size. Located at the World Trade Center in Manhattan, the Memorial Museum tells the story of 9/11. It consists of a field of trees interrupted by two large, recessed pools, the footprints of the Twin Towers. The deciduous trees are arranged in rows and form informal clusters, clearings and groves. The park is at street level above the Memorial Museum. Brooklyn Bridge. The Brooklyn Bridge, with its Gothic-shaped arches and suspension cables, is one of the city's most recognizable landmarks. This historic bridge, spanning the East River from Manhattan to Brooklyn, was completed in 1883 and is a must-visit for New York tourists. Grand Central Terminal. Grand Central Station, which opened in 1913, is famous for its fantastic Beaux-Arts work, distinctive architecture, and interior designs. Its Beaux-Arts design incorporates numerous works of art and is a landmark tourist attraction located in Midtown Manhattan. One World Observatory. Observation decks on the newly constructed One World Trade Center building offer outstanding views from floors 100, 101, and 102, 1,776 feet above the city. The glass building, with its pyramidal design, is easily distinguishable in the Manhattan skyline and is a major tourist attraction. St. Patrick's Cathedral. Located in Midtown Manhattan, the cathedral is famous for its massive bronze doors, gorgeous high altars, and neo-Gothic architecture, which includes thousands of stained glass windows. The cathedral has 21 altars and 19 bells, each named after a different saint. It has more than 2,800 stained glass panels. New York City, being amazingly diverse, holds a lot for all kinds of tourists. Famously called NYC, the city welcomes millions of tourists every year, and is a must-visit, iconic city. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe for our motivation and give your valuable comments.